So hello and welcome to another episode of Dean's Falls. Today you join me for another one of my top 5 detailing videos. Now this is going to be detailing accessories. So last video I did on this was top 5 sort of detailing products that you should get if you are interested to get a little bit more into detailing. However, I do believe there are some things that sit alongside those products, some accessories that you should get to really sort of take your detailing up to the next level. As I mentioned last video, if you're interested in getting into detailing but don't necessarily know where to get started, hopefully this video might help you out a little bit. So we'll get straight into things. And first of all, someone mentioned in the comments last time a good wheel brush. Now I will admit that this isn't the best wheel brush in the world. I do need to actually invest in getting some proper wheel brushes, I will admit that. However, I do hate cleaning wheels, which is probably why I've sort of not done that so far. So this is just a very cheap one, cost me about £4 or £5. The only thing that does worry me on this one is that you do have a metal little core to it in the middle. And obviously you don't want that going near the alloy, so that's why I'm sort of looking at the moment, maybe possibly getting another brush to do the wheels with. So if you have any recommendations, do put them in the comments below. So the main advantage using this brush is that it is going to be hopefully fairly safe for your wheels, bar the little metal bar we'll talk about in there. I do replace these on a fairly regular basis. As you can see, they're all starting to wear out on the top here as well. So, but they're cheap enough that you can really replace them. I do also use these for cleaning the insides of the wheels as well. So not only do the sort of face of the wheel, also the inners as well, just because I like to be a perfectionist. I do find these are quite good for that as well. However, I do wish they were slightly longer than that, but I know you can get longer brushes, which you can do. Right, so we'll move on to washing the car. And this is something that I've had little mitts before. However, I found this one really good. So this is actually one that's shaped to a hand that's universal. You can use it in your right hand or your left hand as well, which is really good. So two-sided. This is obviously the regular side you use, and this bit is more of a sort of scrubbing side. So I find if, say for example, with the front bumper, I'll go over it with this side, leave it for a few minutes, and then because you get a lot of flies in your front bumper, particularly this time of year in the summer, I go back over it and I'll just swap it over. This is where it's helpful to be universal, and then just give it a bit of a scrub using this side as well. So I've had this one probably about 4 or 5 years now, and as you can see, a little bit just coming off there, but it's really stood the test of time well, this one. So only cost about, I think, well, it's either £4 or £6, something like that, I believe. And I think they might have got a pack of 2 as well, for a little bit more as well, for £8. So yeah, that's another thing. I really like these because they are a lot safer to use than your traditional sponges or bits of wag, as I've mentioned in my podcast if you watch that. They're a lot more safe to use as well, and yeah, really good. Really enjoy using these. So now that you've cleaned your car, you're obviously going to need something to dry off with. So this is the first product that I'll recommend. This is the Auto Finesse Aqua Deluxe. Now these are a little bit pricey, I will admit. I can't remember the price off my head, I'll put it in below. But I do believe that they are worth it. Now obviously there are other ones available as well. I'm not sponsored by any of the products here today that I'm using. But for me, this is fantastic. The idea of this, I usually fold it in half and then you pull it over the bodywork. You probably have seen it in one of my detailing videos. And this will dry the car probably about 90%. I do find that once it starts getting towards the end of the car, when you've done the whole car, you've done the last little bits, I do find then it might start leaving a little bit of water on the surface. But however, I do normally go over the car anyway with a microfiber cloth, and I'll come on to that in a minute. So again, it just makes it so much more easier. I used to use microfiber cloths. I might have used 4 or 5 to do the car, and it used to take me forever to actually dry a car, particularly during the winter when it's a little bit colder as well. I just find this makes the process so much easier and so much quicker. So really worthwhile having that. So linking into that, as I've just mentioned, microfiber cloths. Now I've bought a pack of these. I think these were either £6 or £8. As you can see, these are used from the little stain on there quite a bit, and they're fantastic just for using. I keep these just for the car. I don't actually use these anywhere else other than on my car, so I have separate ones where I do clean the house and I keep them separate. I thought these were really good because they're really easy to identify that they're mine, obviously with the yellow with the black edge. It just shows that these are car cleaning cloths. So I use these for a multitude of things. If I've just come back and I want to give the car a quick wipe over, for the cover on with the waterless wash, again I use them for those. I want to give it a wipe over when I get to a show. to make the car looking its best. Again, I'll use these. If I want to go and clean the windows, anything, you can do it for anything. So I use these sort of universal car wash. I don't have any ones that are better than others. If there are ones like this, I know I've got a really particularly dirty job to do. I will probably use the older cloths than my newer ones, because I've just bought a pack of newer ones as well. So, but yes, anyway, I'd thoroughly recommend that you invest in a pack of microfiber cloths. And again, pack of 10, I think this was about either £6 or £8. So really not a lot of money. And you don't mind necessarily after a few years. I've chucked a few of these away. I've just bought a fresh pack, to be honest. And again, they do get a bit stained, they do get marked sometimes. So, and also you can sort of feel not as plush as they used to be. They're getting a bit worn out. So a few of them I have chucked away recently, but I must have had them 7-8 years now, so I think I've definitely had my sort of money's worth out of them. So yes, so that's another worthwhile product, and quite a cheap product as well. So next one I'd thoroughly recommend is one of these, and this is a detailing brush. It might look like a paintbrush, and I'm not going to start painting. I'm not going to start just you paint the car. Don't worry. Yes, this is a detailing brush. Now I have a selection of these, all different sizes. However, this is the size I normally use the most. And this is fantastic for getting in any little nooks and crannies that I find you just can't get in with if you're using maybe washing the car, doing microfiber knit, or even if you're doing the wheels. I found on my newer SLK it had AMG wheels, which is fantastic, but it had AMG stamped into the wheel and you could never ever get into it. The only way to get into it was using this brush and just be able to get in there and get all the little bits of rubbish out and just do all those fine little details. The other thing I find this really useful for is when I'm doing the interior. Obviously, the air vents, it can be a little bit fiddly. You can get like an edge of microfiber cloth and just go into each little individual air vent. However, I do find that a little bit fiddly. So if I'm just getting dust out, I won't actually put any product onto this. I'll just use it as it comes. And I just go along the air vents and it just makes it a bit easy. You can do it in a few seconds then, rather than doing this might take a minute to actually get in all the air vents and get every little thing else. So again, a pack of these, I think it's about £10. They probably come about 4 or 5 different sizes and thickness of the brush. Again, not really a very expensive product. It could be one quite handy for focusing on those little details if you want to enhance your detail a little bit more. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about the accessories I've recommended today, please do let me know in the comments. Again, I know someone did comment about a detailing brush last time. I've listened. I'm very intrigued to see what other people have to say as well. And yeah, if you've got any recommendations for slightly better detailing brush, please do let me know in the comments below. So as ever, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.